shit.
Yo, 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 what
Is
up
with
it? Woo!
Melee It On Me fans.
Yes, Melee on Me season what
6,
What?
episode 8.
what is okay, season 8, season 6. Okay,
Yes.
season 6, episode 8.
That's right.
Ooh, all right. That I'm gonna have to relax for like half an hour to recover from that epic but great idea. But okay, we are live. This is Melee It On Me season 6, episode 8, and we got a very reduced lineup here. I got Sheridan.
No items.
Yeah, no items. Juggleguy and Dr. Z only. Final Destination. That is the name of the game.
That's right.
But not only do we have Sheridan, we have who is this over here? Who are you? Emily. I see an Emily Sun on my screen. Who are you? Tell us who you are. Why are you here? Why should we care? Go.
Hey guys, I'm Emily. My tag's Emily Waves. I am a Smash player. I play the game Smash, and I TO in New York City. So I'm here to plug our cause. New York, we've been without a Smash venue for our weekly called Nebulous for several months because we lost our venue. We finally found an amazing new venue, and one of the problems is we're short on cash. So we started a fundraiser to help raise money for a down deposit on a new venue. And we should care because our series, Super Nebulous, is kind of amazing. We've had a lot of quality players come out to our events, and we even sponsored Yappy from the Netherlands to come over. We had S2J, Lucky, Kirby Kaze, a bunch of people come out for a really great tournament.
It was a good event.
Yeah, it was really fun, super awesome event. We've started our Indiegogo fundraiser, trying to raise about $9,000. One day we've already reached $6,000.
No way.
Yeah, it's insane. The community is just really, really amazing here. People really love the series and I guess want to see more. So we're probably going to create a stretch goal in order to make the next Super Nebs even better. We're here to help the community. That's kind of my pitch.
Okay, so if the good people of the stream want to donate, what is the link? Do we have can somebody spam that in the Twitch chat or put it on the agenda? I don't actually have the agenda open.
Yeah, sure. I'll put it in
I
Twitch
have the
chat.
agenda open, but it's
Just
not in the
posted
agenda
it.
yet.
Yeah, you can copy that guy and post it into the agenda.
All right.
Yeah, we have some cool perks too. A lot of it, we're pretty low budget here, so a lot of it's like top tier player training. We have player training from like G Money and the Moon DJ. We have hacks. Yep. One of our perks is you can team with hacks during doubles.
Ooh.
Whoa,
Yeah.
That must be a pretty high reward level.
Yeah, we have one buy so far. It's $250 donation.
Oh, that sounds about right. Yeah.
But you'll be getting a whole bunch of other stuff, on the way up to 250 besides just
Yes.
hacks. Yeah.
Yeah. For the out of region people, we have a founders plaque that we're supporting. So we'll have your name on a plaque. It says credit, I guess.
It's good. I like that it's there's donator rewards, and it's not just like a PayPal link saying, oh, just give us money and stuff. It's like, oh, let's create mutual value. We'll give you this in exchange for your support. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And we've had so many volunteers, like Smashers are saying, one of our Smashers, NyQuil, he says he'll help design stream overlays. And he's this great designer. He's an animator. And, that's something that's definitely worth it, that if you don't go to our series physically, you can support us that way.
I like the $1,500 reward, free venue fee for life.
We've had two buyers.
Sheridan, do the math for
amazing.
me. How many Super Nebs tournaments would you need to go to for you to break even on the $1,500 venue fee for life?
So, Super Nebs are how often? How many per year?
They are weekly, but if you can do Melee on Saturday, you could do Smash 4 on Sundays and PM on Fridays.
Oh,
right.
Well, that could add
wow.
up. That adds up
really
pretty
could,
quick
yeah.
then. I thought this was like a bi-weekly or monthly thing.
It's a weekly. Venue is $10
So,
Yo, if
oh
somebody
wow,
goes every
wow,
week, that
wow.
to
might
all
act
3 events too. I don't know if
all
anyone goes to
events.
all 3. I'm
Oh,
not.
you could make that back in like,
That's less than a year
yeah, huh?
if you went to every event.
Does that sound worth
uh,
it? Yeah. Okay, maybe.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's good though. Any other shout outs you want to make before we start on our usual trek through the PSAs?
Shout outs to the whole campaign team, and of course to Jesse Hertz. The one of the founding
This
fathers
is a
of
great guy.
Nebs.
Hectohertz,
Yep.
kilohertz,
Oh
whatever
yeah.
you want to call him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he is pretty awesome. And sorry, one last shout out to Phil Nolan, Geodude, who created our video. He turned it around in one day, and I think it's amazing. I think everyone should watch that video. It's part of our campaign right on the link that we sent, but it's just, it's just really like awe-inspiring. So, yeah,
Yeah.
thanks,
Definitely
guys
check
for
it out.
having me. Yeah, you just hit the contact button if you have any questions and such.
Sounds great.
All right, cool. I'm gonna sign off. Thank you.
All
Thanks a
right.
lot.
Thanks for coming on. So there
Yeah.
is the Super Nebs news, which I didn't even know about till like 5 minutes ago. But
I just heard it today, but I mean, it's one of the greatest locals that exists presently, or did exist up to that point.
yeah,
So, if anything deserves it, that's the one.
yep. What do we got on the agenda?
All right, we got several EVO PSAs.
Hmm.
First thing is, I think most people know this by now, but final pools for EVO are now set. It's done. There's no going back. Live with it.
Okay, here's the thing. I think the problem before was that there were like 3 different groups that were trying to make quote unquote final changes, and we all kind of overrode each other because of the
Really?
mechanism in
Who,
which
who
like
else
you
was doing
move.
it?
I think like G Town Tom was doing a set of changes. There was
Hmm.
like the Smash 4 guys, although they probably didn't touch Melee, but
Right.
still, I think there might be something to be said about maybe like MIOM consolidates all the changes, and if there's any rogue changes, we prepare like an emergency crew, kind of like we did a couple days
Hmm.
ago, and we just hammer it out in one afternoon, right after Tony Cannon says it's final, which
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not actually final, guys. We know how tournaments work.
Right.
So that's kind of what we did this year, and yeah, it's not going to change anymore. So we can
Yeah.
finally look
What was
at
that?
them
Was
and
that Tuesday morning or Monday morning? But I don't know. One of those
uh
mornings, a few of
yeah,
us got together for that emergency session
yeah.
and
So
worked
who do we
like
got to
4
shout out?
hours on all that
Tafo,
stuff.
you, Tafo, Reno, Dark Rain, and Nick, I believe,
Yeah, that's
was the.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
Dark Rain put together a script to automate a whole bunch of stuff, which was nice.
Yeah.
But
The other
yeah,
group who were trying to do it manually, like looking through the pools and typing it into Google Doc. I was like, no, Dark Rain knows what's up. He has an automated script. That's
yeah,
what you got to do.
yep. So
Okay.
pools are set. Go check them out. There's a link in the agenda. Yeah, I might as well post it here. Yeah. Here you go.
Ooh.
So those are the pools, and then if you replace index in that link with players, then you
Mhm.
can search by player name or tag.
There's also a godlike resource that Daniel made in which you can go to an Excel spreadsheet that he put together, put a name in you think they'll advance to the next round of pools, and it'll show like the entire losers
Hmm.
bracket if you put him advancing out of losers, out of winners. I don't know if we should share it. I personally would love to keep it secret until my fantasy draft is over so I can win my fantasy draft. But look for that probably in the next few days. I don't know when Daniel wants to make it public.
Okay, so the final count for both games. 1,869 for Melee. and
Whew.
1,926 for Wii U.
Dude,
I don't
Melee.
even care whether we beat Wii U or not. That's
Oh,
just
right.
it's insane.
It's insane for all of the Smash community.
I mean, isn't that
Dude,
bigger than what any game had last year at EVO? Like, didn't
think
Street Fighter
Street
4 got like
Fighter.
1,600?
I thought it got like 1900, but don't quote me on that.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, like Smash 4, I think is the third highest
No,
EVO
it's
entry game ever.
ever. Oh, okay, yeah,
Ever. So
ever.
Street Fighter this year, Street Fighter last year, and then Smash
Mhm.
Wii U this year, and then Melee this year. So we're like third and fourth in the all-time EVO like entry records for an event, which is pretty crazy. The biggest Melee event before this was technically Apex with 1,024 entrants, although a lot of people didn't show up for the venue switch. So
Yeah.
like it's kind of crazy how the records are being shattered. Like when Pound 4 had the record for 3 straight years, Evo shattered it by like 2x, right? Literally 100% growth. And then after that, we went from 600 to 900, and then now we're at 1,800. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to talk about besides like, damn, that's
Well,
crazy.
I mean, first of all, we're going from 1,869
Yeah.
to 32 in one
Yeah.
day at this
Yes.
tournament.
Dude, okay. I honestly, I thought that was impressive before, but with bracket pools and
Mhm.
like 64 setups, it's easy peasy.
Yeah, it's just a matter of the staffing being on top of it, because
Yeah.
there are 6 waves, and each wave has 20 pools. And my estimation is that to get absolutely 100% certain, you need 3 pools or 3 TVs, 3 setups per pool to
Yeah.
get it to happen.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So that I kind of want to start the call for setups at this point too. We're going to need a minimum of 60 setups at EVO.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. Mr. Wizard's relying on the community still to bring setups. I thought we had the Smash Vault for at least most of the setups.
Oh,
Isn't
we do have the Smash Vault.
Okay.
And I know Vegas Melee is supplying a pretty decent amount.
Hmm.
Do you remember how many are in Smash Vault?
I think it's 40.
Mm-hmm.
Don't quote me on that.
All right.
And
Yeah, I thought it was
so,
between 30 and 40.
yeah.
And I think Vegas Melee is going to be about 15 setups.
Okay.
So we're still going to need, I would like at least,
Few more. Yeah.
yeah, 10, 15 more on top of that.
Right.
So, yeah, if you are anywhere, 5 hours from the venue or less and are driving, just that one setup, we got so many people. I hope a couple of you will bring something and help make it happen for us.
Dude, here's why you should bring a TV to EVO.
Mm-hmm.
The legend himself, MIOM Cosmonaut, he is driving from Pensacola, Florida
That's right.
to Las Vegas next week. He's driving across the country, and he's going to bring a setup. He's got a CRT
Yeah.
TV in his trunk right now. He's going to bring a setup. And if he can do it, so can you, people living in LA, San Francisco, Phoenix, wherever, near Las Vegas, within driving distance. So I want to see at least 60 setups there. We can do
Mhm.
it. And like part of the reason that a tournament organizer is able to bring a game back is the leadership for that game steps up and provides the resources necessary to run a tournament. So you can disagree all you want about whether EVO should use their budget to get some sort of CRT TV solution, but it's
Mhm.
kind of on us at this point. So we got to step up, bring your CRTs, help EVO happen.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Next item. There's a salty suite for Smash and Street Fighter.
Mm.
Red Bull is sponsoring. This is going to be, I don't think at the venue. It's going to be some side room.
That's how
what I
it, I
read
mean.
was,
That's how it usually. Well, that
Yeah,
I think that's
sure.
the original intent behind the salty suite is
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have a suite, literally,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, right.
you get some salt in there, and you just see what happens. So,
Dude, this is
yeah.
gonna be a ridiculous like suite though. I think what I
Yeah.
read was 3,400 square feet.
Oh,
So that's like, dude, that's bigger than most
that's bigger than
Smash.
my house.
Yeah, dude, that's bigger than most Smash major venues. Not major, like regional
Regional
venues.
or large local. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So kind of ridiculous. I don't know if it's VIP only or what. Um, but VG Bootcamp's gonna, I believe, be streaming is what I read, and I don't remember who's streaming Street Fighter, but it's gonna be those two games, and we should see some good matches,
Yeah.
including Kage versus Bizarro.
Will they might even meet in bracket.
I saw that.
The way
I
that
saw
we
that.
were looking
Yep.
at it.
Yep.
I think Bizarro has to beat a decent. I think he has to beat like Swedish Delight or something, which I think will be difficult for him. And then I think he'll get Kage. The way
Um,
we were looking at it.
yeah, I think you're right. I need to pull up the.
But
I've got this
he's got a few
section.
sheiks. Both of them have a few sheiks in a row in that side
There
of the
is
bracket.
1/4 of the bracket, not quarter, like 16th of the bracket that has literally like 6 of the top 7 sheiks. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull it up. I know
Yeah.
Herbie Kaze's in there, Ice is in there, Dreffen's in there, Laudandis and Swedish Delight are all in there.
Mm. And
So
that's like, and I mean, this is the semifinal or quarterfinal round at this
yeah,
point. What they call quarterfinals, which
hmm
is you've already taken the top two from
yeah,
each pool. So this is just like crazy random whatever
yeah.
stuff.
I have it up right now. So
You know.
going down the list. Kirby Kaze versus Chudat, Laudandis versus Swedish Delight, Ice versus Dreffen, V Wins versus
Mm.
Bai. There's gonna be a lot of sheiks there. Chudat might be a value pick if you're in fantasy draft because
Mm-hmm.
according to Blur, he hasn't lost to a sheik in like ages.
V wins.
Chudat,
Shoot it. Okay.
yes.
Sure.
So
But
it's a gamble.
where are the opportunities where he's had to play those sheiks? That's the
The
question.
problem is he has Kirby Kaze first in that little area, so that's the
Hmm.
toughest sheik out of all of them.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, we'll see. I don't want to like blow through too many of these bracket projections because we have a lot of them to talk about next week on our live show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we should probably just move on.
I really want to see. It's probably. I don't think this is going to work out in the bracket, but Ice versus Hungrybox again.
Oh, yeah, the
We can
rematch,
get the Zelda strategy.
dude. So like at Apex, he used Sheik to build up damage, right, on
Hmm.
Hungrybox. As soon as
Get him up
Hungrybox
to
got
about
to 70,
70%.
it was
Yeah.
like exactly 70, switches to Zelda and fish for forward airs or back airs to get a
Hmm.
kill. And if you guys haven't seen that set on YouTube, it's like pretty entertaining. You should look it up. Ice gets him down to last stock, game
Yeah.
3, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Like, he takes a game 3 is last stock, and he almost pulled it off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you think that's a gimmick strategy, or is it actually viable?
I honestly don't know.
We have to see it again.
I really think Puff should beat Zelda, but it requires you just have to pay a little bit more attention and play a certain way, and
And not get forward
you
aired or
have
back
to
aired.
right. You have to know that you have to like do that switch immediately,
hmm
and it's not always
Right.
you can't always do that on the fly. So I think it's viable, or at least I don't think it's been proved not viable.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can you tell people about melee doubles at EVO? What's going on with them?
Yes. All right. It's happening. Melee doubles. So myself, Jackie Ko, who is one of our TOs in NorCal, who helps out with all our stuff, and you may remember from running EVO teams last year. She was helping out, calling out matches with the laptop and everything. So me, her, Chibo, and somebody else, a couple other people, we got together and set up teams for Smash 4 and Melee at EVO. Everything's going to be happening on Saturday. The Smash 4 doubles will be happening immediately after their finals. Their finals, I think, are at 10 a.m.
Oh, their
10 a.m. Saturday.
semifinals. Their
The
semifinals.
semifinals are like at 8 a.m., I think.
Yeah. I thought it was like noon, but I gotta double check.
Yeah.
EVO
me check
2015 stream
quick,
schedule.
Actually. Saturday. Okay. Their semifinals are at 8 a.m. on Saturday.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's at noon. It's
at noon. Okay.
the top eight's at noon.
So I think, yeah. We don't have the exact details of how it's going to work, but we're trying to start it basically as soon as possible. So we might even start the Wii U teams right after the semifinals and just run only the people that are not in finals at that point. Start running all of them. Take a break for finals. Resume once finals is over. Get all through that. And then Melee's teams will be basically right after our semifinals.
So
we're
6
gonna
o'clock.
start. Is it 6? I think. Okay, no. I think we're actually going to start it at 4.
Oh, okay.
Just during the semifinals, so we won't have those people play their teams matches.
Okay.
But we will play. First and there should be enough sets. First and second round of winners. First and second round of losers, to get through enough of it, because we know people got things to do. They want to on Saturday night. They want to go out and do whatever Vegas crap that people do. I don't know what they do. Presumably, there are fun things to do in Vegas. Apparently,
fun is a thing, Sheridan.
Well, I've never heard of it. So anyway, we're on the schedule really just to make sure we can get it done as soon as possible. Like, because EVO is about the game, but it's also about the experience, and just people being able to do what they want to do Saturday night has got to be a priority in our schedule. So it's happening. We're going to try to blow through it as quick as possible. There is a cap. There is a sign-up cap. Smash 4 teams will cap at 64. Melee teams will cap at 96. All right? We are absolutely not letting anybody in after that cap. So you may be asking, how do I sign up and make sure that I get in under this cap? So I don't remember who is taking it for Smash 4, but Jackie will be taking signups for Melee teams because she's going to be doing pool judging on Friday. So you can find her and sign up for Melee teams. It's going to be $40 per team, so $20 per player. And yeah,
wow.
So make sure you sign up. Make sure you sign up in time.
That's the high roller
teammate
teams.
Ready?
Man.
I don't know if we're actually going to be taking any signups on Saturday, either because of time or because we just might hit the cap by then.
Yeah.
Either way, that's what's happening.
Whew. $20 per person, $40 per team.
Yeah.
High rolling.
We want it to be kind of a big deal.
I actually agree with that.
And also,
I totally agree with that. Yes.
It makes us. We want the people who really want to play teams as well.
Yeah.
And it helps us so that we don't have to turn away as many people from the cap.
Yep.
I think 96 is hopefully a good estimate of how many people will sign up given the time, price point, and everything else.
I think so.
So yeah, look forward to that.
Okay, so those are the PSAs. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, meaty topics here. All right, EVO 2015 stream schedule. Melee Top 8 is on Sunday at 1 p.m. Vegas time.
Mhm.
Wii
And-
U Top 8
Yeah.
is on Saturday at noon. What happened here? Did EVO screw Wii U with the time slot that they
Right.
chose?
So based on you have to understand what Evo's principles were for doing this, and based on their stated principles, I don't think it was screwing Smash 4 by giving them Saturday. I think noon might be a little early compared to what I was expecting, though. They're behind games that have 1/3 the number of players.
Yeah. Yes.
And even though we traditionally understand Smash 4 to be less of a spectator event than Melee, which I don't think anybody argues, I don't know if you can really. I mean, I don't know what the numbers were like at Apex, and Apex was like 100K or something, and then Melee was like 140K. I'm skeptical that they'll really get fewer viewers than KI or
It's hard to say.
whatever else. I'm a little skeptical of that they will get those fewer viewers. That
Here's
I don't
here's what I think. So one of the Smash games is always going to be on Sunday. That's what Mr. Wizard has said from day one. One of them was going to be on Saturday. The problem is Nintendo is not supporting the scene with pop bonuses or
Right.
any sort of exposure on their end.
That's a good point.
So I kind of had a sneaking suspicion of this a few weeks ago. One of the games was going to get their wish, the prime time right before Marvel Sunday, 1 or 2 p.m. time slot. Everyone's happy. And the other game I felt like was going to drop all the way down to like the sewer just because Nintendo's not supporting it and Evo is just going to put the schedule logistically where it makes sense at that point. So just from a TOing angle, after I look at it, it actually logistically does make sense, even though it really, really sucks for Smash 4 players. Like I feel bad.
I definitely agree with your point about sponsors and the companies supporting their games.
Yeah, because like KI's got maybe 400 entrants, 500, but they've got a 50K pop bonus.
Yeah,
so,
and also, regardless of what like past stream numbers have been for those games, what that tells you is that those companies have invested into getting the word out about that tournament, and they're going to be working to generate that extra stream viewership. Whereas Nintendo,
not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
What can you say? That's just been that's been their way. And I think I don't remember how much time Smash 4 got for their finals, but Melee has 3 hours for our finals. And is all of that 2 out of 3?
I don't know. They usually don't even say it until very, very close to the event.
Yeah.
Remember EVO 2013? Nobody even knew if winners finals was best of 3 or best of 5.
I heard it was going to be all 2 out of 3 until winners losers grand finals.
Yeah, I think that's what they did last year. Last year they did winners finals, losers finals, grand finals, best of 5.
But you don't need 3 hours for that unless you're going to have like a bunch of stuff in the middle. We at NCR this year, we ran the same program. Everything was 2 out of 3 until winners losers grand finals. Under 2 hours to run that.
What?
Under 2 hours.
Oh my god. Yeah, so 3 hours usually my rule of thumb is you can do all best of 5s in top 8 in 3 hours. Usually, unless there's crazy variants like all best of 5 sets or something.
Yeah.
So
Young Link versus Jigglypuff.
Yeah, or a Young Link versus Puff, or like a Peach versus Puff. So I think they could do best of 5s for at least maybe losers semis, winners semis. But that's up to the cannons. I think they're gonna look at the time when it comes down to it.
Yeah. So 3 hours is generous. So maybe I'm hoping that means we get some 3 out of 5s. Yeah, I'm hoping.
Yeah, Wii U finals only gets 2 hours, so
Wow. So
that's gonna be rough.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's move on. I want to talk a little bit about CEO and FC because the last time we had a show, it was right before CEO day 2,
Yeah.
and
So
we haven't
how
really.
did I haven't watched that show yet. How did the live from CEO go with Young?
It was pretty good. Obviously, Scar was the hardest to get just because he was getting his ass kicked by Mike Ross in the Street Fighter room, in the
Yeah,
FTC room. So we had to walk
yeah.
over there and drag him out. um, but yeah, I think it went well. It was me, Toph, Daniel, and Bobby, and we just kind of talked about whatever, dude. I prepared this agenda and everything, but as soon as you get Scar talking, it's like, nope, agenda out the window. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna learn from that. No agenda for Evo, guys. Sorry.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was good.
cool.
Leffen kind of went off as CEO. He beat Armada
This
twice.
is yeah. So up until this point,
Hmm.
Leffen was I mean I think if he didn't make a statement at CEO,
He was on Buster
I was
status.
dropping him to fifth.
Yeah, he
You
was
know,
totally on the verge of Buster status before CEO, just because
yeah,
I think between Apex and CEO, he was like 0-6 versus the gods. He also lost to Axe,
as
SFAT, and
fat.
Hugs.
Yeah,
So he
Plup.
was.
Or no, Plup was before that. But
Yeah,
yeah.
right before. But he was on a major slump. And then CEO, boom, beat Armada twice. We
Hmm.
missed out on Leffen versus Mango just because Mango went out to Shroomed in losers, in winners. So CEO, Leffen takes it. We all think, you know what, maybe he just has Armada's number. We'll see if he can do it again. FC comes along. Leffen beats Hungrybox. Armada, Hungrybox again. So now he beats two
Yep.
gods, and he is 5-0 in his last 5 sets versus the gods.
Yeah.
So now you start to talk about is Leffen an equal favorite to take Evo along with Mango, PP, Armada? I think the
Hmm.
consensus other three
Hmm.
right now. What do you think?
I I'm not gonna put him as a favorite. I I'm just not convinced that he can beat a Falco like
Wow,
Mango or PP.
he's done it before.
He's done it before, but
He's losing
I
records.
I don't I'm not convinced yet. Um he's I definitely consider him the favorite versus Hungrybox and versus
Probably versus
Armada.
Armada at
I
this
honestly
point.
don't know. It's a coin flip for me.
Yeah.
It's a coin flip for
Uh,
me.
I I'm
He's gonna have to, but if I remember, what is his bracket? So his bracket is going to be uh, he will
he's
have
got he's got Hungrybox in quarters.
Hungry Box and quarters,
Yep.
and then I think he's got Armada
Yes, he does.
for semis.
Yep.
I think that's exactly what he wants,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know. And then he's got the winner of Mango and PP, assuming everything goes according to plan there.
Yep. Yep.
That's where the real challenge is going to be. So, Leffen in grand finals, or Leffen in winners finals.
Yeah.
Um, hmm,
And then from there, it's a toss up.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Like Leffen with three other gods present. Leffen has not broken third yet,
hmm
and he's had 4 tries, I believe.
and it's just a matter of who he meets. At
Yeah.
CEO and FC, he met the favorable ones for him.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna agree that Leffen has a really, really good chance at taking third. I'll give him like an above 50% chance that he's gonna take third.
Mm,
But to reach that next level, second or even first, I'm going to give him a very small chance at this point, just because I need to see how he's going to do against PP and Mango. I don't know if the last two tournaments, CEO and FC, are representative of like just this Super
Right.
Saiyan new power that he has, or it's just, I figured out Armada again, and Hungrybox I kind of always had figured out. It was just that one bad set at Sandstorm.
Right. And people like to take just the last couple data points.
Hmm.
They forget about the rest of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Granted, like those previous data points don't matter as much, but you can't just forget about them entirely.
Yeah.
One thing that Tafo brought up in his stream last night is the stat about Armada, which I don't know whether there's something to make of this or not, but I think it was something like Armada has not lost a set to the same person in 3 straight majors ever.
Woo! That is a nice stat. Wow.
Meaning that 2 losses to Leffen.
Huh.
If he loses to Leffen again, that's new territory.
Yes. I love those stats. It's like the Warriors never lost more than 2 straight games this whole season or something.
Right. Yeah.
Armada's never lost to the same opponent 3 straight tournaments. That is really interesting if it's true. I'm kind of surprised that Mango or Hungrybox haven't done it like back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
but I totally believe it. And I think Armada might have a trick up his sleeve for Leffen. The thing is, oh my God, we haven't even talked about this. There is this random tournament in Tennessee called What the Fuck
Yeah.
this weekend, and it's gonna have Armada and Leffen there. So we're gonna have another data point before EVO.
Oh.
Jeez, this is like okay. The crazy part is if Armada wins that one, it'll really throw everything just completely in
I know.
disarray. Like
Yeah.
who's gonna take EVO? Like what is going on here?
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty crazy. I kind of agree with your assessment. Leffen, excellent chance at top 3, but top 1 or 2.
And
slim
Hungrybox
pick.
isn't completely free, so right now I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Armada's got like a 55% chance to be in grand finals, and Leffen's got 45%. Well, Leffen, I'll say, actually no, because if Hungrybox wins, then Hungrybox gets Armada. That's not at all free for Armada anyway.
That's not free anymore. He just lost. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, oof.
Who comes out of those 3? That's.
I'm gonna say 40% Armada, 35% Leffen.
Yeah.
25% H-Box.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go H-Box a little lower, Armada a little higher than that, just because H-Box Leffen are the first 2 to play.
Yeah.
And
right.
I don't see Armada losing to Silent Wolf, Shroomed, or Pew Pew, which he would have. Okay. Well.
Do we know what the deal with Mango at what the Fox is yet?
Dude, it's been a back and forth in the last couple days. I think he's going, but my confidence level in that actually happening is like at a supreme low. I never know what to think when he goes on Twitter and says like JK not going or yes, you see you there, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know. But it'll be so. Last year we had what KOC 4 the week before EVO, right?
Yes.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 2 weeks before, the week before, one of those. Yeah, and Mango,
Leffen, Armada,
right?
West Balls, Wizzy, and Soft is what Smash Studios is saying.
Okay.
Cray.
That's pretty good. Wow. I'm excited.
Ridiculous.
You want to talk about Armada a little bit? Or Hungrybox is next, right? Is it Armada or Hungrybox? Let's see.
Either one. Armada's technically next. Yeah.
Okay, Armada. So here's the thing. All right. Armada got second at Apex. He pulled out the Fox for the first time at the big stage. We were like, okay, cool.
Well, he did it at Paragon before that.
Sure. Yeah. And he lost a heartbreaker.
But Apex, I mean, we can call Apex the big stage.
All right. fast forward 2 months. I'm not yelling. Armada takes it pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
He had to pull out the peach versus mango, but still, it was a mostly Fox endeavor, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, all right, Armada got first. Good for him. Sandstorm, he runs through the competition, gets first again. So at this point, going into CEO, I think Armada is the clear number one in most people's minds.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like whenever these super majors roll around that have like 4, 5, 600 entrants, 4 gods in attendance, it just seems like Armada always gets second or third.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't seem to get first. I think his biggest wins, like in his career, are still like Genesis 2 and Apex
Apex
2012.
2012.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. These super majors, he just can't seem to get past the hump. Why do you think he can't seem to like get past that and win the big super major?
It's such a puzzle to me. Uh, I don't. It's hard for me to really even see any difference in his actual play from tournament to tournament. And I want to say maybe this is just, sometimes you just get these seemingly what look like patterns out of just statistical variation. And it may just be just pure bad fortune that it's happened. I really can't see anything systematic in his play or opponent's play that's preventing him from getting first. I mean, getting first place at all. There's only so many
Yeah,
there's only so many big events.
sure, sure.
You know.
And like you talk about a big 5 or big 6, someone's gonna get trunched fourth or fifth, like perceived to get trunched.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks weird seeing like 5 PPMD at any result, or
Mhm.
5 Armada, 5 Mango. Like somebody's gonna get fifth, and maybe Armada just more consistently gets second or third, even though like he doesn't actually have a big, he doesn't have like a nerves problem or anything
Right.
preventing him from getting first. What me and Daniel were talking about at after the end of CEO was maybe Armada just he's a model of consistency. He always brings like his A minus game, but maybe he never brings his A plus game. So
Mhm.
somebody else always bring their A plus game, like Mango at Evo or PP at Apex, and he just gets edged out at these super majors. I don't know if that's like a symptom of playing Peach. Maybe his playing style is a little bit, too flowcharty with Peach sometimes. I've heard that criticism of him. I don't know, but it seems to be a thing now. I thought it was maybe a coincidence in the, a year or two ago, but it's
Yeah.
happened too many times now for me to say like, wait, that's just a coincidence. He gets second and third at everything.
Mhm. Mhm.
We'll see. I I still think he's like by the narrowest of margins the overall number 1 seed at Evo,
Yeah.
but man, it's like the narrowest of margins now.
Mhm. Mhm.
You can't keep giving him the overall first seed if he's getting second or third every time.
Yeah. I mean, it's really just been there's nobody else to give it
Yeah,
to.
no one else stands
Uh,
out.
so
Maybe it'd be a different story if PP had been going to tournaments for the last
right.
4 months, but
So yeah, exactly. Or Mango for that matter. So
mhm.
we always talk about Mango Evo, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
is a different beast. But let's look at what happened previous to Evo 2014 and what's happened previous to this Evo. Mango had a win at MLG. He had a win at KOC4
Mm,
over Armada.
yes.
Had won a couple tournaments before that. What what are the wins? What are Mango's wins this year?
Ooh, it's it's hard to name any. Press start, right? That's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously, I definitely believe Evo Mango deserves a boost over his baseline level. the question is, the 2014 baseline is different from the 2015
Yeah.
baseline,
Yep.
and we can't just forget about everything else that's happened in the last year.
I'm so torn between like not sleeping on the kid and sleeping on the kid, you know? We have this discussion every year.
I
Dude,
know.
every year I'm like, Mango's not gonna win this one. And then he makes me look like an idiot. And then the next, like after the tournament, I'm like, I'm not gonna bet against him again. And then before the next Evo, it's like, yeah, I'm betting against him. So, um, so I'm conflicted. I don't know.
I'm very conflicted.
If
As a
Tafo asks
Mango
for
fan-
prediction,
as a Mango fan,
if Daniel asks for prediction next week before we sign off live MIOM, I'm just literally gonna make it up on the spot in a random order. I feel
well, that's gonna
how I
happen.
feel.
So get ready.
Although, okay, we have one more data point. I keep forgetting what the Fox this weekend because Mango
That's
supposedly
right.
is going
Yeah.
according to PB&J. So, all right, let's just see what happens there.
All right. Last Hungrybox.
Yes. Ooh. Yeah. Do you want to introduce this topic?
Okay.
You're the Puff man.
I saw a lot of people talking about Hungrybox's ledge camping
Oh
at
yes.
at FC, and even in the Jigglypuff discussion group. Yes, there is one. The Jigglypuff R&D group.
Wait, what kind of technology can you talk about in the
Don't worry
Jigglypuff
about it.
R&D
Don't worry
group?
about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Some people were bringing up supposedly that camping was helping him out. And HBox even made a tweet out about how much he's going to abuse the ledge at EVO.
Dear Lord.
But when I was watching it myself, and the commentators even said this themselves, that it didn't really look like he was actually getting things out of it. So, like, was I missing something? Were the commentators missing something? Why were all these people talking about how good the sledge camping was? So, I rewatched the the HBox versus Armada set, and I took a note of basically all the times that he ledge camped and all the times they were playing the neutral game, and what the changes in stocks and percent were over all those intervals. So basically, in each game, I divide it up into segments where there's neutral game and segments where there's ledge camping. All right.
Okay.
And then I have each player's stocks and percentage before and after those intervals. All right. And then I also looked at after the ledge camping ended, who won the very next exchange in the neutral game between the two people.
Okay.
What I found is that so I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 instances. I didn't get game one. The VODs on game one are screwy for whatever reason, so I discounted that.
Okay.
But that's okay because game 2, 3, and 4 are the ones where HBox all won. And this is the set where HBox won, right? So
yes.
if it's anywhere, it's going to be here. It's not going to be in the Leffen set. Out of the 10 instances of ledge camping that I saw, I scored 6 of them as Armada winning the next exchange, and 4 of them being basically a trade or uncertain.
Yeah.
9 of those 10, Armada took the next stock.
Yep.
The only one he didn't was the very last stock of the set.
Wow.
So the narrative was, and this, so people were saying it was messing with Armada's mind. It was screwing up Armada's flow. If it's screwing up his flow, he shouldn't be taking the next stock. That just makes no sense at all. This whole ledge camping sucked for him. It sucked. He lost, I would estimate, I'm just doing like a really quick based on what I see in this percent. I would say it cost him probably 1.5 to 2 stocks over the course of the set.
Wow. There's a really, really good Reddit thread too on the Fox Puff matchup, specifically with HBox and Armada.
The laser damage one.
And it's kind of crazy how the Fox Puff meta might be shifting towards this game of chicken where like Fox lasers are so powerful, but like Puff has this quote unquote threat of going to the ledge, and
Yeah.
maybe it's not gonna, result in an advantage, but it might just ice the Fox into getting bored or doing something. Probably not Armada because he's Armada, but
Hmm.
I can see HBox starting to do this against some of the other top 20 Foxes, your SFATs or Luckies or Silent Wolves or
Right.
Haxes, just because if they're on fire, Hungrybox can dictate the pace by just saying, okay, I'm going to play at the ledge for the next 45 seconds, and you can't do anything about it because the risk reward is so not in your favor.
Hmm.
And even though he doesn't get stage position from that, he loses stage position, he can at least just say, okay, for the next 45 seconds, I'm going to dictate the pace. We're going to do this.
Hmm.
And that's kind of scary, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so let me give you an example. Let me talk about here's all the times you ledge camped in game 2. This is on Dreamland. Okay. So, um, Hungrybox takes the first stock. All right. He goes to the ledge at 4 stock 33%. During his ledge camping, he takes 19%. And when he gets back up from the ledge, Armada wins the next exchange, and Armada ends up at 20% before he takes Hungrybox's stock.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 stock, 33%, and in the rest of that whole stock, he gave Armada 20%. That's not a
Yeah,
value stock for Puff. All
it
right.
is not.
All right.
No.
Next instance, he takes Armada's stock after they come back 3-3. He goes to the ledge at 3 stock 87%. Armada's at
Mm-hmm.
2 stock 14%. Takes 15% on the ledge, comes up from the ledge. Armada wins the next exchange. He does a total of 8% to Armada from 80 with his 87% stock.
Okay.
It's Fox, whatever. That's certainly like below expectation value, but when you're at 87%, you can die from Fox. That just happens. So I still wouldn't consider that a value, but it's not a huge data point.
Yeah.
Okay, next stock. Hungrybox is 2 stock 13%. Armada's got 1 stock left. He goes to the ledge. He takes 15% out of it. The next exchange is kind of ambiguous. Throughout the next stock, Armada is dominating him. He gets him to 102%. Armada's still got 31% on his stock. So that's about 90% on Puff to 30%
Yeah.
on Fox.
Yeah. It
He
seemed
goes
like
back to counting.
HBox.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got his ass kicked every time he went to the ledge in the next exchange, it
Hmm.
seemed.
Hmm. Yeah. And he goes back to the ledge again, and with 102%, or is it 108%? And he loses the next exchange to Armada, loses that stock, is done. And then he comes back and kills Armada and wins the game.
Mm.
That's pretty typical of what the whole exchanges have been. Basically, no value on the next stock, even negative value.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to talk about is some people say camping is neither player necessarily approaching one another in some cases. So who is camping whom? Can it be said that Armada was camping Hungrybox?
Yes, I think the person trailing is the one camping because just in other games, if you're losing, you got to approach. Melee unfortunately has an 8-minute timer, so like we almost never see timeouts, and people can just chill for 2 minutes, literally standing on the stage doing nothing, and not really be punished for it because Melee is a game in which you can come back and take a stock in 30 seconds easily. And why would you approach when you have 3.5 minutes left on the clock to just wait there and see if they're going to come back from the ledge? So I think there's a very legitimate argument that Armada was the one camping. I certainly didn't think HBox initiated the camping. He was the one on the ledge, but Armada's the one who was trailing and did nothing about it. So that's kind of my interpretation.
I think that interpretation. I think that camping. There's a lot of different things that are camping, and we just use the same word to describe them. When you're at the ledge, what you're doing is you're using kind of like the mechanics of the game to stay in that spot and avoid abuse. I don't think standing in the middle of the stage and shooting lasers is camping exactly. It's not approaching, but I don't know if I don't know if it's right to call it camping. You know,
Yeah.
I hesitate to really call it camping.
Mm-hmm.
Camping is like, you know,
you can call it what you want.
He's hiding in a spot where he's almost unassailable.
All right, I I can see that. So I'm gonna change my wording. I'm not gonna say Armada was camping. I'm gonna say
I'm not saying he wasn't camping, but if he was camping, it's in its distinct sense from the way Hungrybox was.
Yeah, the initiator of the stalemate was Armada when there was nothing happening for a minute at a time during those matches.
Mm-hmm. So, and I will say that in basically all of the times that Hungrybox went to the ledge and started camping, he got up from the ledge basically voluntarily himself.
Yeah,
without
I noticed that too.
Without a lot of provocation from Armada.
Yeah, me and Atma were talking about this at the venue. It's like HBox was kind of doing a half measure. He was going to the ledge and hanging out at the ledge, but then he would just come up after like 30 seconds or 1 minute. I thought
So are we going to see Hungrybox commit?
Yeah, I was like either commit and the next few minutes will be very boring, but at least we're going to see what happens when Armada actually has to approach when the minute when the timer goes like under a minute, or just never go to the ledge in the first place and spare us, the 45 seconds that it took for you guys to start fighting again. I feel like he just did an in-between that really didn't have the benefits of either. But then again, he beat Armada in the set, so he still pulled it off somehow.
Proves that he just wins the neutral game versus Armada overall.
Yeah,
so
he had to.
Right. I guess my difficulty with accepting that he's going to commit to the ledge is that we didn't really see him prove that he can abuse that ledge and get that next stock that he normally wouldn't get.
Yep,
we didn't really see a clear example of the plus value stock from that strategy,
Yeah.
And
so I'm not convinced.
I haven't tracked the Leffen game yet, but I don't remember seeing any plus value stocks from the ledge camping there either.
He barely even ledge camped in that set versus Leffen. It was much fewer time, way fewer than the Armada set.
Yeah. So maybe he's just throwing that out to make people afraid.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a psychological game. Like other foxes see that, and maybe at Evo
I did the Twitter post specifically because I do not believe that the camping had any psychological effect on Armada. At least not what you see when you look at the game data. I can't see any evidence for that.
I've seen Armada do Youngling Puff for a 1-hour set. I don't think that phases him at all.
Yeah.
Not one bit. But maybe it will for like the top 30 foxes, some of the top 30 level foxes.
So I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. HBox drops those from time to time. He wins them like 85-90% of the time. I don't remember if he's going to meet any.
Ooh, he's going to meet Hacks. He's going to meet Hacks. Yes, in round of 16.
Right.
Yep.
He's going to meet Hacks. and then he's also going to get the
And he's gonna get Leffen.
20, and then before that, yeah, there's not really Hacks. Who does Hacks have to get through? Because that's not a for sure either.
Hax has to get through MacD or Kage. That
MacD. All
if
right,
he
so
might
he's
actually
going to
lose
get
to MacD.
yeah.
I don't know.
So worst case scenario for him is Hacks, and
And Leffen.
I think if he can do it, because maybe he can turn that 15% chance that Hacks might have into a 5% chance.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be value for him.
Yeah.
However, and this is kind of old news, so I don't know how much really to use this as evidence for anything. But that one, I forget what tournament it was. It was early this year. Hacks versus Mewtwo King was grand finals, and Hacks did a lot of things to mitigate Mewtwo King's ledge stalling. It was really impressive. It was the first time I really thought Mewtwo King, aside from his own SDs or whatever, was basically like minus value from his ledge camping.
I want to
So
say it was
makes me
Zenith
think
like
it might
late
have
last
been.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been. So that makes me think, maybe Hacks thinks
Yeah.
about that ledge game a little bit more than the other Foxes do.
He's been playing M2K for way too long to not have a plan about that.
Right.
Although Hacks is
it's Puff versus Sheik, so it's a little different in the way.
He is one person who, like, even back when he played Falcon, he already realized that Puff ledge camping could be really broken versus certain characters, not Fox, but certain characters like Falcon. So I think Hacks understands that he's gotta have a plan for that.
Yeah.
I don't see him get gimmicked by the ledge. Ooh, all right. What else is there to discuss? That's most of the agenda.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if I want to. Maybe I'll do a little Leffen game analysis later. I don't know if I feel like it or not. It was kind of annoying to go through the VOD and stop and start it each time.
Yeah.
Write everything down, but I don't know. It may be worth it to see how somebody that beats Hungrybox differs from Armada.
Leffen was playing it a lot different than Armada. I think Leffen was approaching the mango like in your face but not unsafe kind of approach versus HBox. Yeah, it's hard to describe Armada's playing style. Like there's certain Fox traditional things that he just doesn't do. If you count the number of times he like short hop nairs at someone, it's very, very little. He chooses different options. It's kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah. He definitely got like a lot of those hit confirmed kills in that set.
Yep.
That you really need, and but I think Hungrybox has shown that he knows how to get out of some of those. Like he's using air dodges now to get out of some of those pretty cleanly. That still doesn't really get you out of the woods because you still have to get to the ground slowly as a Jigglypuff, which takes a while, compared to other characters.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I watched. Okay, just as a exercise, I watched the HBox versus Leffen set from HBox's perspective. Usually, when I watch Fox Puff, I'm watching the Fox because I actually play some Fox and I never play Puff. This time, I was like, I'm just gonna watch it all from Puff's perspective. That matchup is impossible. How does Hungrybox ever beat a Fox? Like how?
It's so hard, isn't it?
What? I don't understand.
This is why people need to stop with this whole Hungrybox just back airs. I'll call it a meme at this point.
Oh
just
no, I think that ship has sailed.
I can't believe everybody that it stuck around for as long as it has.
I feel like everybody who knows anything about Melee understands that Hungrybox is just a really, really good player who's got some really good clutch genes in him. Otherwise, he'd be losing sets to Foxes left and right. like every major he'd be losing to one of those top 30 foxes, right?
Right.
But that just doesn't happen. He wins like 90% of them, and that's way more than he should be winning on paper
Yeah.
just because of the matchup.
You know,
So
he just has a really good feel for what space he controls and what space Fox controls.
yeah.
And he just positions himself very well. And so much of that is just based on feeling and from having played it so many times. He has a great sense of when Fox is going to jump or run under him, and either to catch him with a bear or whatever. Uh, he's very consistent with punishing missed techs, even from things that he can't catch with like a jab rest. But he
Yeah.
knows that people tech away from him, and he gets that tech with the back air. And once he gets them off the stage, maybe they get back on the stage, but they're taking damage,
Mm-hmm.
and he makes them. For some reason, he's really good at making them afraid to up B or side B to the ledge. I noticed this especially when watching Armada's games on Pokemon Stadium. Armada would go high, recover high a lot, and basically just kind of make Hungrybox prove that he was going to
Yeah.
get that bear timing right. Because actually, to bear, um, basically a fox that's coming right at your face. Bear doesn't stay out that long. You have to have pretty decent timing on it. And he just kept doing it, and he was very consistent with
He
it.
proved it to Armada. Armada's like, I'm not gonna take a chance going to the ledge and maybe getting like edge hogged or back air down below. I'm gonna go high 5 times, make you edge guard me 5 times, and HBox edge guarded him 5 times.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
props to him.
What I would really love to see is eye tracking.
Oh
on the
yeah,
Puff and Fox players.
yeah, I saw that. Somebody was posting a link to that, and I think Mango expressed some interest. He was like, "Yo, that's actually pretty cool." I can't remember what company is making those, but I would definitely like to see that in Smash, and it'd be a really, really good training exercise to like follow along with what some of the top players are looking at, especially in teams. I want to do this for teams.
Yeah.
Like, where is Mango looking when there's 4 foxes on the screen? He's just going berserk. Is he looking somewhere in between him and his teammate? Like, where is he looking? I'm so interested in seeing that.
Yeah. So, like, the thing that it makes me think about specifically is, I play hockey a lot, and when you have the puck, your initial instinct is to look at the puck while you're going down the ice.
Right.
But that takes all of your awareness off of everything else that's happening on the ice.
Exactly.
You need to be able to play while having your head up and being able to control the puck. So I feel like it's the same thing in the Fox Puff matchup, where you need to stop looking at your character the whole time. You need to be able to just get a feel of where you are and just look at the Fox and be able to get those reactions much cleaner and faster, and just already have that sense of where you are so you can react to it and just get those punishes and reads and whatever else to win the game.
Yep. I agree with that. I think we should wrap it up. Before you go, just for shits and giggles, looking back on this next week when we do the MIOM live show, do you want to do your top 4 in order at EVO right now? If EVO happens tomorrow,
who's your
top 4, first, second, third, fourth in order? We're gonna do this again next week, and we'll see how stupid we are 1 week ago, and then we're gonna do the same thing a week after EVO.
Okay.
Who you got?
Number 1, Mango.
Oh, I knew it.
I'm sorry.
God damn it.
Number 1, Mango. Number 2. Mango puts Armada in losers finals. Armada takes out. Armada's got to fight PP or Hungrybox or.
You were thinking real, like, we don't have to take it this seriously, Sheridan.
I'm sorry, dude. Okay, I'm the type of person that like thinks so much about like their moves in board games. Like I just feel like I have to
you're
weigh
one of,
every option.
you're the
I'm sorry.
person who
I'm
like
sorry,
takes
dude.
half an hour to play their
I'm sorry.
cards in Dominion or
Yeah. Now
yeah.
Dominion, I'm good, so I know what to do.
Okay.
But
You
other
probably
games,
owed
marker
my shit in
placement.
Dominion.
Number two, Armada. Number
Ooh,
two,
all right.
Armada.
All right.
Number 3, Leffen.
Okay.
Number 4, PP.
All right. Well, god damn it. I'm going to have to agree with you, Mango, just because like I'm tired of looking like an idiot after Evo. So, I'm going to pick Mango until I've learned my lesson. I'm picking him until he proves me wrong. And I'm not going to make him prove me wrong the other way, okay?
Okay.
So I say Mango, and I think Leffen's just got so much momentum. He's got Armada's number seemingly right now. I don't see him losing to Hungrybox. And 6-month-old PP, not having played for 6 months, I've got Leffen in that one too. So I'm gonna put Leffen second.
Mhm.
And I'll put Armada third, PP fourth.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay. I think that's reasonable.
All right. Well, we got MIOM next week.
Yeah.
We don't know the location yet. We haven't really confirmed with Gimmer yet, but
I think it's
we
going to
have
be
faith.
9 p.m.
We have
Pacific.
faith.
Or was it 8? I think it's 9.
9 is kind of early. That's asking a lot.
Really?
Because I get in at 8. I think.
I get in at like
Daniel-
7:45.
Yeah, I think we should say 10. 10 or 11, honestly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
Dude,
we were trying to do it
we
as
did
early as
midnight.
possible.
We did midnight
We
a
did
couple years
midnight.
ago, and dude,
Yeah.
there was still like 3,000 people who tuned in.
Yeah.
In 2013, a 3,000 person stream for Melee was godlike.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm hoping we get a lot of numbers this year. We had 9,000 for CEO, which was very surprising during the MIOM. So we'll see. Hopefully Calvin can give us the hookup with VGBC. All right, yeah, so final time to be determined, maybe 10-ish
Yeah.
p.m., 11, worst case.
You want to do like maybe 1 or 2 chat questions, or you want to just wrap it?
I kind of just want to wrap it. I've been
Right.
in 2 meetings today,
Okay.
big
I'm super hungry
related
too.
meetings. Yeah, so
I've been.
thanks for tuning in,
yeah.
guys. We are out until next week. Stay tuned
Yeah.
for updates.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep, peace.